Okay, so you've got that podcast episode queued up, the essential ingredient,
Yeah.
why exercise is so important for health. But maybe you don't have time to listen to the whole thing.
Well, that's why we're here.
Right. We're going to do this deep dive and uncover all the ways exercise impacts our lives. And I'm talking way beyond just getting in shape.
Yeah, I mean, this episode, it really makes you think about exercise differently.
It does.
It's like, it's not about fitting into those smaller jeans.
Right.
It's about, like, giving your body what it needs to really thrive. Almost like, how a multivitamin helps your overall well-being.
Oh, I love that multivitamin analogy.
Yeah.
Because it makes you realize exercise isn't just targeting one specific thing.
Right.
It's impacting all these different systems in our bodies.
Exactly. Like, think about heart health for a second.
Sure.
Exercise doesn't just make your heart stronger, the muscle.
Right.
It helps your blood circulation throughout your whole body,
Oh, wow.
which the episode points out can really reduce your risk of heart disease and stroke.
Wow, that's huge.
They even use this analogy of, like, giving your heart a workout,
Okay.
which I thought was really interesting, makes it more relatable.
Yeah, it paints a much more vivid picture. What about weight management?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's what most people associate with exercise.
Right, and burning calories is definitely part of it.
Yeah.
But this episode, it goes deeper. It talks about muscle mass and how important that is.
Okay.
Building muscle through exercise. That's key.
Gotcha.
Because muscle burns more calories even when you're just relaxing.
Oh, wow.
So you're basically, increasing your metabolism, not just when you're working out, but all day long.
So it's like having a secret weapon
Yeah.
working for you 24/7.
Exactly.
I like that. Okay, and it's not just heart and weight, right? The episode, they talk about how important exercise is for, like, bone and muscle strength.
Absolutely, yeah.
They even mention things like carrying groceries and playing with your grandkids. Do you think putting it in those terms helps people really connect,
Oh, for sure.
with the benefits?
I think it's really smart because we tend to think of strong bones and muscles as, like, for athletes.
Right.
Or people who do those intense workouts.
Yeah, you have to be super into fitness.
Yeah, but talking about those everyday things
Right.
makes it feel more real.
Yeah.
And it reminds you that exercise can really improve your life. Like, even the simplest things become easier and more enjoyable.
Oh, for sure, making life easier and more enjoyable. I like that. But there's one point I found super interesting.
Yeah.
The idea that exercise can boost your immune system.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
How does working out actually help fight off, getting sick?
So it's not just about building physical strength on the outside.
Right.
It's also about making your, like, internal defenses stronger.
Oh.
And while the episode just touches on it, there's research that says moderate exercise can help your immune cells circulate better,
Wow.
which means they can find and get rid of those harmful things more efficiently.
It's like giving your immune system a workout, too.
Exactly.
That is incredible. It makes you realize that exercise really impacts us on so many levels.
Definitely.
And speaking of levels, this episode doesn't just stop at those physical benefits.
No, it doesn't.
It goes on to, like, explore the mental and emotional perks of working out.
Absolutely. And this is where it gets really cool.
Okay, tell me more.
The episode highlights how exercise, it goes way beyond just the physical.
Right.
It has a huge impact on our mental and emotional well-being.
Okay.
They talk about stress reduction and how your mood can improve, which I'm sure a lot of us have experienced.
Totally, yeah. Can you kind of break down the science behind that feel-good factor? They mention endorphins, but I'll be honest, I don't really get how they work.
So endorphins, think of them as your body's natural mood boosters,
Mhm.
and they also help with pain. When you exercise, your body releases these chemicals. That's what gives you that sense of, like, euphoria and less stress after you work out.
Okay, so it's not just like a general endorphin rush kind of thing.
Right, there are different types, like beta endorphins help with pain relief, and then you have enkephalins, which might affect mood and motivation.
So there are actual, like, chemical processes
Mhm.
happening in our brains that make us feel those positive emotions.
Exactly.
That's fascinating. What about our mood more generally? Because I feel like the episode went beyond just, that happy feeling you get right after a workout.
Right, it's not just about covering up bad feelings.
Yeah.
Exercise seems to actually change those neurotransmitters that are all about mood regulation, things like serotonin and dopamine.
Oh, okay.
And this might be why regular exercise is linked to having a better outlook on life and being able to handle your emotions better.
So exercise is basically setting us up for a better mood overall, not just a quick fix.
Right.
That's really cool. The episode also mentioned how exercise can help you sleep. And while I definitely need help in that department, how does working out actually help you get better rest?
So our bodies, we run on these natural sleep-wake cycles. They're called circadian rhythms.
Okay.
And exercise, it can help regulate those rhythms so you get more restful and restorative sleep. It's like hitting the reset button on your internal clock.
So instead of taking a sleep aid, I should just, like, go for a run.
Well, if you have ongoing trouble sleeping, it's always a good idea to talk to your doctor. But yeah, regular exercise can be a really natural and effective way to sleep better. And did you know there's even a link between exercise and how well your brain works?
I think they mentioned that.
Yeah.
But what does that actually mean? What's going on in our brains when we exercise?
Okay, so the episode uses the term cognitive function, but let's break it down. Studies suggest that exercise can improve different parts of how your brain functions, like your memory, your attention, even your creativity.
Yeah.
It's not just about being physically fit, it's about keeping our minds sharp too. And there's even research from Harvard that shows regular exercise can actually make the hippocampus bigger. That's the area of the brain that's super important for forming memories.
It's pretty amazing how one thing, exercise, can affect our whole being, like from our heart and muscles to our mood and brain power.
It's like this master key unlocking better physical, mental, and emotional health. But I bet you're wondering how much exercise is enough to get all these benefits, and the episode does give some guidelines, right?
You read my mind. So what do they recommend?
They talk about the general guideline for adults, which is at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic activity or 75 minutes of vigorous intensity aerobic activity each week. But the good news is you can spread it out over the week. It doesn't have to be all at once.
Oh, okay, that makes me feel better. But I'm not going to lie, sometimes even thinking about fitting in that much exercise is a little daunting,
Yeah, I get it.
especially if you're not someone who's like always loved working out.
I totally understand. And the episode, they actually talk about this. They say it's really important to find activities that you genuinely enjoy. If you hate your workouts, it's going to be so much harder to make it a regular part of your life.
So it's about finding that perfect exercise match.
Yeah,
The thing that, speaks to your soul.
exactly. It could be anything like hiking, dancing, swimming, even gardening. The important thing is to find something that gets you moving and makes you feel good. And remember, you don't have to go from 0 to 60 overnight.
Oh, good.
The episode is really smart about this. They say start small and then slowly increase how long and how hard you're working out so you don't get burnt out or discouraged.
So I don't need to sign up for that marathon just yet.
Nope.
Okay, I can definitely get on board with starting small. But how do you actually turn those baby steps into, like, a real habit?
Well, that's where the real magic happens. We've talked about why exercise is so good for you. We've even touched on how much you should be doing. But in the next part of our deep dive, we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of turning exercise from something you do sometimes into a consistent habit that you actually look forward to.
Ooh, unlocking the secrets to a more active, fulfilling life.
Exactly.
Can't wait. But for now, listener, take a moment and think about this. What activity makes you feel really alive and energized? Hold on to that thought, because we'll be right back to explore how to make that activity a regular part of your routine.
Until then, keep exploring and keep moving. The journey to a more vibrant you is just beginning.
Welcome back. In part one, we talked about all the incredible benefits of exercise, but now let's get down to the practical stuff. How do we actually make this a regular thing? A habit, not just something we do when we feel like it.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? We can know all the reasons why we should exercise, but actually doing it consistently, that's the real challenge. And this episode, it actually goes into the psychology of how we form habits.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so less about willpower, more about strategy.
Yeah, exactly. The episode really emphasizes starting small. It might sound kind of strange, but setting those tiny goals, those little wins, they can actually be way more powerful than trying to change everything at once.
So instead of like aiming for an hour at the gym, maybe just commit to a 10-minute walk a couple times a week.
Exactly. Or even just doing some stretching for a few minutes while you're waiting for your coffee. The key is to pick something that feels doable, something you can actually stick with even on those crazy busy days.
It's like tricking your brain into thinking, hey, this isn't so bad. I can totally handle this.
Yeah.
And then once you get going, you can slowly increase the time or how hard you're working.
Exactly. It's like building a muscle. You wouldn't try to lift your max weight on the first day.
Yeah.
You start with what you can handle and then gradually work your way up. And it's the same with building an exercise habit.
I love that analogy. It makes the whole process seem a lot less scary and more like something I can actually do.
Yeah.
But what about those days when even the thought of putting on your workout clothes feels like way too much.
Oh, we've all been there.
We've all been there.
And that's where the power of habit really kicks in.
Right.
When you've got a solid routine, it becomes almost automatic, you know?
Right.
You don't have to depend on motivation or willpower, which we know can come and go.
So it's like putting your exercise routine on autopilot.
Exactly.
You just do it even if you don't feel like it at that moment.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm starting to see why this whole habit thing is so important.
And one of the best ways to be consistent is to treat your workouts like important meetings. Block out the time in your schedule just like you would for work or a doctor's appointment, and then show up even if it's just for a short time.
Okay, so treat it like a boss meeting.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
But let's be real, even the most dedicated people can get bored with the same routine every day. Any tips for keeping things interesting and fun?
Oh, absolutely. The episode really encourages you to explore and try new things. Try different kinds of exercise. Step out of your comfort zone and find new activities that you enjoy. Maybe you'll discover a passion for Zumba or rock climbing or something you never thought you'd like.
Ooh, rock climbing.
Yeah.
That's something I've always wanted to try. But seriously, the more we talk about this, the more I realize that creating an exercise habit isn't about finding that perfect workout or pushing yourself to the absolute limit all the time.
Yeah, you're right. It's about finding what feels good to you, what fits into your life, and what makes you feel happy and like you've accomplished something. It's about respecting your body and celebrating what it can do.
And speaking of celebrations, I think we deserve a little pat on the back for making it through the first 2 parts of this deep dive.
Yeah.
We've talked about why exercise is so important. We've explored how to make it a habit, and now I'm sensing a what on the horizon.
You read my mind. In part 3, we're going to get into the world of different types of exercise. We'll explore everything from cardio to strength training to those mind-body practices like yoga and Pilates.
Ooh.
We'll help you navigate that big menu of options and find the perfect fit for you, your needs, and what you like to do.
It's like a choose-your-own-adventure exercise experience.
Exactly. So get ready because we're going to help you discover a routine that will make you feel amazing.
Awesome. I'm ready.
Great.
We'll see you in part 3 for the grand finale of our exercise extravaganza. All right, welcome back to the deep dive. We've covered why exercise is so awesome and how to make it a habit. But now it's time for the big question.
The what?
Yeah, what kind of exercise is right for you?
Ooh. Yeah, it's like we're at that fun part of the recipe, where we pick the ingredients that make our fitness dish delicious.
I love that. And just like with recipes, there's no one right way to do things. So let's check out some of the options on this fitness menu.
Okay, let's do it. First up, we've got the classic cardio.
Ah, yes, cardio.
This is all about getting that heart pumping and those endorphins flowing. Think like running, swimming, cycling, even dancing, anything that gets your heart rate up and keeps it there for a while.
Okay, cardio, the Energizer Bunny of the fitness world.
Mm-hmm.
But what if, like, running a marathon isn't really your thing?
Mm-hmm.
What about those of us who prefer something a little more low-key?
Well, don't underestimate the power of walking.
Walking. Really?
Yeah, it's something almost everyone can do no matter what your fitness level is. It's low impact, so it's easy on your joints, and you can go as fast or slow as you want. Plus, there's something really nice about just, putting one foot in front of the other.
Walking. Simple yet effective. I like it. But let's say you're looking for something a little more, well, intense, something that really challenges your muscles and pushes you. What's on the menu for that?
Then we're stepping into the world of strength training. This is all about building muscle and strength, using weights, resistance bands, or even just your own body weight.
Strength training, huh? So are we all aiming for those super ripped muscles you see in magazines?
Not necessarily. Strength training can be for everyone. It's about building what's called functional strength, the kind that helps you move through life more easily. Like think about carrying those groceries, playing with your kids, or even just standing up from a chair.
It's like exercise with a purpose.
Hmm.
And, it reminds me, this episode talked about the mental and emotional benefits of exercise. Are there certain types of exercise that are good for that mind-body connection?
Definitely. That's where those amazing mind-body practices come in. Things like yoga, Pilates, and Tai Chi. They combine movement with mindfulness, focusing on your breath, flexibility, and being more aware of your body.
It sounds almost meditative, like a moving meditation. But with so many options, how do you even know where to start?
Well, it's like picking up a new hobby. The best thing to do is just try different things and see what you like. What are your goals? What do you enjoy doing? Do you like group classes or working out solo?
It's about finding that perfect match, where your interests, your goals, and what you like all come together. But what if you have an injury or some physical limitations? Does that mean exercise is out of the question?
Not at all. There are so many ways to adapt exercises or find activities that work for you. Like water aerobics is a great low impact option that's easy on your joints. And a lot of gyms offer adaptive classes specifically for people with injuries or disabilities.
That's great to hear. It really shows that movement and exercise are for everybody, no matter your age, your abilities, or your experience.
Exactly. The most important thing is to find an activity you enjoy that makes you feel good. Exercise shouldn't feel like a chore or punishment. It should be a celebration of what your body can do.
So it's all about embracing movement, seeing it as a gift, a source of joy, and a way to live a healthier, happier, more fulfilling life.
Exactly. So
Right.
go out there, explore, and find what makes you excited to move.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into the world of exercise. We hope you've learned some new things and feel inspired to make movement a fun and important part of your life. And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about making progress.
Yeah.
So keep exploring, keep moving, and keep discovering the amazing power of exercise.
Until next time, stay curious, stay active, and keep on diving deep.